I remember when I was at the airport at the time, waiting for my flight from from Bangkok to Chiang Rai, and I asked my team to send me the maps and any information that they have about the geologies and the areas. And then when I realized it was 10,000 acres of land that we have to deal with in terms of hydrologies and how groundwater flow and things. And especially it's it's not even in Thailand. Most of the catchment area are that affects the flow actually in Myanmar, which is that's even more difficult. And then I realized, well, yeah, it was like, 12 kids and one coach, they were trapped in there. And they were just like, teenager, not even a teenager, just one of those boy or teenagers. And it just, I was just kind of, my feeling was just kind of shocked, like how are we going to find these boys? Even when we found them, how are we going to bring them out? And they were in the cave without food and water for so long. When we found them, will we found the bodies, or will they still be alive at the time? That was the thing that actually came to my mind where I was sitting at the airport. I remember it was like around 9 or 10 o'clock at night. We all were like taking the night off. We went to our hotel, and that's what they make the announcement of the boy was found. There was people were sharing, this is it, we did it. We found the boys. A lot of sharing, a lot of a really, I mean, the whole mission was just, people were just like gone crazy. Let's put it that way. The parents were so relieved that all of the 13 kids were around, still alive, because at the time some of the parents thought that kids were dead. And when it happened, it changes everything, including me as well. But for me, first time I heard about it, the first thing that's come to my mind is this mission is going to be even harder, because we found the boys, and how are we going to get them out? That's even harder than just search for the boys. So that night, I couldn't sleep. I was like thinking about what are the options that are available for us as a rescue worker at the site, and what are the realistic options, and what about the weather? Why? We're working against time at the time. So any options, any solution, it needs to be really precise and critical. That it needs to be some sort of what crazy. The whole country was praying to that we as a rescue worker found the boys. It was just everyone flew on the television, radio, social media. It would just become viral, I would say, on social media as well. People are talking about it. And, there was a lot of volunteers, a lot of experts offering help any way they can. Even they were not there themselves, people are offering to send a supply if the rescue worker need anything. The next day, people will donate it for us. That's really generous of them. At the campsite, we have volunteers, not just help us with engineering part, but they also help us with other parts, accommodation, washing our clothes, cleaning the restroom, securities, moving the equipment. It's a lot of manpower. It was a big movement of the collaboration, not just in Thailand, but I'm talking about international level as well. But in Thailand, it's just amazing, it's never been anything like this. This is actually the first thing that happened is mobilize the people to work together for this cause. There was one example that we were up in the mountain, me and my team, and we ran out of materials like plastic bag and the pipe to divert the waters. So we kind of posted on social media. So the next day, people bring all the equipment to us at the location. It was just that sense of collaboration and giving that it still impressed me even now. That Ron and the teams did an amazing job on trying to replicate the setting. It's a lot of work and detail go into that, I'm sure. There was some scene of diverting the water, some scene of explosion inside the cave. I mean, this looked really, really amazing, and to be seeing that again on the big screen, I'm sure it's gonna bring a memory to all of us as a rescue worker ourselves, because that is like Tham Luang Cave rescue mission is I'm sure I could speak in all, but as a rescue worker, that it's one of the best memories in our life. It's one of those memories that you cannot forget. This is one of the moments where we put our politics and our differences aside. At the time, the politics was so divided in Thailand, and we just kind of put everything aside. The soldiers, the government workers, the volunteers, it doesn't matter what side are you on. We put our differences aside and then work together to accomplish this mission. And on the last day, all of those cheering, all those celebrations, the boys who are out, the parents, the smile on the faces of the parents, the families, all those have from the boys and their family, it was just broadcasted around Thailand and the world. I think that's something that all of us could be related to. Like some of us has a kid. Some of us used to be a kid like that at a certain time in our life, and if we look back, I think we all could relate it to that moment. The achievement, the celebration, the unities. In terms of national, international wise, I think this is one of the rescue missions that so many people from different background, a different belief system, a different mindset, a different culture, actually come to work together. We are really grateful for all the international help that we got at the time when the rescue happened, because those help, those expertise, those equipment is so critical to the mission. I hope that I could speak in behalf of the Thai people that we are really grateful from all the volunteers, especially to the divers, and then as well as the diver from different countries like Australia, UKs, and some of the Europe country. And we just so grateful. We just don't know how to say thanks enough for all the risk that they took to get those boys out.